Well, welcome back, guys. It's December 18th. It's a Sunday. It's 1 p.m. and I'm just now heading out for the day. This is the third time I've hunted this area. I'm in West Tennessee. I'm probably going to be within about a half a mile of the Mississippi River when I get set up. But it's taken me a minute to figure this place out. There's more deer sign here than anywhere else that I've hunted on this side of the state. But I have yet to see a deer from the stand. Now, I didn't start hunting out here till late season. And although I don't think these deer are as pressured as other places I've been hunting, they still receive some hunting pressure, which causes them to act a little bit different. And the first day I hunted out here, I hunted a big CRP field that looked amazing. There was deer sign everywhere. There's rubs or scrapes, deer droppings everywhere. Never saw a deer. So the next day I hunted the opposite side of it, hunting a little road that was cut down the side of it. And hunted the road because it was so thick you couldn't see when you're in the woods. Never saw a deer. Well, every time I drive out here, I have to leave my house at 4 a.m. to get out here in enough time to do a hanging hunt. I always bring my stand with me. And between 4 and 4:30 a.m., I'd see deer all over the road. So I know the deer are moving during the night mostly, which is typical of late season. So I haven't hunted an afternoon out here just because it's such a pain to get a deer out that late and then get home so late, especially if I have to work the next day like I do tomorrow. But I think this is the only way I'm going to get one, is to hunt the afternoon. I think the afternoons are going to be far more productive. But I'm not going to hunt the CRP field today. On the walk out, the last time I was out here, I found some really big rubs, some fresh deer droppings, and it's right in the middle of the woods, and there's bedding on both sides, and it's like, they're technically not ridges, but you'd call them a ridge. It's just where the way the river contours the land out here. It's more like rolling like this, and in the dips it's got hardwoods, and on the top it's got a bunch of, I don't know if these are bodart trees or whatever. They got horse apples and stuff. But the deer are bedding on the thick ridges. And so I'm gonna be in between two of those little ridges that's got all the bedding on it. And oddly enough, there's not a lot of oaks out here. There's a lot of wild pecans and a bunch of greenery, green browse out here, a lot of honeysuckle. And so that's what I'm hunting. I'm hunting a food source, hoping that these deer will come through there. And I've got doe sign and buck sign in here, so I'm in the market for shooting either one. So anyways, it's a good area. I'll see you when I pick out a tree. Thought that was a deer. It's a giant possum. He's up moving early. I'm only about maybe 10 foot off the ground. I only brought 2 sticks with me. But I got this giant honey locust, and this is a hackberry. And I can see between them that way a pretty good ways. I can see the top of that ridge. And I can see the top of this ridge. And there's a big rub right up there, and the rub line goes right through there. My wind should be blowing back that way. So any deer that come from that way, I should be good. This is how you know you're in a honey locust tree. Look at these thorns. That's freaky. Those rubs start right out there, and they go right up. The side of that road is right out there a little ways. That rub line is about 50 or 60 yards over there and about 45 yards over here. That buck is making the loop. staying out of the road, but staying just inside the woods in this thick stuff right here. That deer was like 15 yards dead downwind of me. He smelled something, but he couldn't tell what it was, and he went on. He's still right back here, about 60 yards. That buck was close. I could have killed him with a rock. Well, I think I did finally figure these deer out, but that one's not quite big enough. I need one a little bigger than that to come through. It's still early yet, maybe one will still come on. It is 3:43 right now. The deer came through at like 3:30. I got almost 2 hours until it's dark. I am hoping that a much larger buck walks that same trail. Because if they walk that trail, it's over. I mean, it's over. Oops. Oops. My scent is blowing straight that way. And 3 does came up right there. It's amazing that buck stood there for freaking 15 minutes and never smelled me. Those does came up and immediately smelled me. They were so quiet I never heard them. But they were probably 50 yards right there. And they ran off and blew like 4 or 5 times, whatever. I've got about 45 minutes of light left, so there's technically still time for something else to come through. Holy smokes, guys. Sorry I didn't get the other camera turned around. That happened too fast. The squirrels were barking back here for the longest time. And I can hear them, and I was like, I can't see the deer. But I can tell something was walking because they were barking way back there. And then they were barking a little bit closer, then a little bit closer, and I never could see anything. And these deer are so quiet in these woods, I never even heard him. I just turned around and there's a giant body walking, and this is a brute of a deer. And I hit him the first time, I'm pretty sure, and he just kind of stumbled over here and stopped. I knew that rub line was from a giant deer. I can tell by looking at the size of the rubs. And that is an absolute beast of a deer. I'm talking about a beast. Well, while it's still daylight, let me get down so I can show him to you. I didn't even know it. There's a scrape right there. I don't have a tracking job because after that second shot, he piled up. Oop, I about walked right past him. I can smell him. He smells like a goat. This is a absolute pig, guys. Look at what a deer. All right, guys. Look at this freaking tank. He's a mainframe 9, but he's got an extra point coming out the front there, makes him a 10. But look at what a giant body on this deer. I don't know where that first shot hit. I may have actually missed him on that first shot. I can't tell. But that second shot put him down for sure. I'll have to spin him around and look, but look at that. There's no way I can drag this dude out of here. This is a giant deer. Here, let me flip him around. I mean, look at this dude, man. See that kicker right there? This is a absolute giant. The first time I shot at this side of him, and I don't see a hole. I think I literally missed the first shot. I don't know if that's some buck fever or what, but luckily enough, he ran straight at me. I think I actually missed the first time. I feel my bullet right there from the other side. It's in his chest right there. But I smooth missed the first shot, I guess. I'll know when I skin him out. But tell me that's not a brute. Well, I'm fixing to have to try to get this big dude out of here. This hunt was awesome. I've been hunting this place for the last week. This is my 3rd trip out here. And I couldn't figure the deer out. There was all kind of deer sign. There was very little hunting pressure. And I knew I had to be doing something wrong. I was hunting too much sign for there not to be any deer, because I was seeing none. Not like very few deer, but none. I was like, something's wrong. But I wasn't hunting in the afternoon because it takes too much work to get the deer out of here. I'm too far away from home. And if I got to work the next day, it's a pain in the neck. But seeing deer in the middle of the night, I knew the afternoon had to be on fire, and it was. I had that small buck come through over there. The does came through downwind. I was anticipating all the deer coming from that way. None of the deer came from that way. That small buck came kind of from the southwest. The does came from the south, and he came from straight north. I never would have thought he would have come from that way, but that's the way he came from. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. I sure did. I'll catch you guys on the next one.